Listen up right now, because this isn't just about her. It's about you. It's about the man you could be, the man you should be, the man who doesn't beg for loyalty. He commands it. You want to be the man she fears to lose. Then you better become the man she can't afford to lose, not with money, not with gifts, but with unshakable strength, with unmatched value, with a presence so powerful, the thought of losing you terrifies her. This isn't about games. This isn't about tricks. This is about reality. Weak men get replaced. Strong men get remembered. So ask yourself right now, are you the man who fades into the background? Or are you the man who owns the room the second he walks in? She doesn't fear losing just anyone. She fears losing the one who stands taller, the one who moves forward when others step back, the one who doesn't need her, but chooses her. So stop asking for her loyalty. Earn it. Stop hoping she stays. Make her never want to leave. The question is simple. Are you ready to become that man, or will you stay ordinary? The choice is yours. Act like it. Let me tell you something brutal, something real, something most men will never understand. You are replaceable. Right now, as you sit there, as you live your life, as you move through the world, you are just another option. And if you don't change that, if you don't force yourself to become something more, then you will always be disposable. But here's the truth that will change everything. You can become irreplaceable. You can be the man she fears to lose, not because you beg, not because you cling, not because you need her, but because you are so valuable that the idea of losing you terrifies her. Think about it. What kind of man is never forgotten? What kind of man leaves a hole so deep, so painful, that nothing else can fill it? It's not the man who gives her everything. It's not the man who sacrifices his pride, his dignity, his self-respect just to keep her. No, the man she fears to lose is the man who doesn't need her, but chooses her, the man who stands on his own, who commands respect, who lives with such strength and purpose that she knows, deep in her soul, that there is no one else like him. This isn't about manipulation. This isn't about playing games. This is about real power. The power of being so good at who you are, so undeniable in your presence that losing you isn't just sad, it's unthinkable. How do you get there? By becoming unmatched, by refusing to settle for average, by waking up every single day and demanding more from yourself than anyone else ever could. Most men drift through life hoping for love, hoping for respect, hoping that someone will see them as special. But hope is weakness. Real men build their value. Real men earn their place. Real men become so strong, so confident, so unshakable that the world bends to their will. You want her to fear losing you. Then be the loss she can't recover from. Be the man who doesn't chase, but is chased. Be the man who doesn't beg for attention, but commands it. Be the man who walks away first, not out of spite, but because he knows his worth. This is about dominance, not over her, but over yourself, over your fears, over your laziness, over your excuses. Most men are soft. They crumble under pressure. They break when tested. They need validation. But the man she fears to lose, he doesn't need anything. He creates his own validation. He defines his own worth, and because of that, he is unstoppable. Look in the mirror right now. Ask yourself, are you that man? Or are you just another face in the crowd, another option, another maybe? If the answer hurts, good. That pain is your wake-up call. That pain is the fuel you must use to change, because the world doesn't reward nice guys. The world doesn't reward hopeful men. The world rewards killers, men who take what they want, men who refuse to lose, men who demand excellence in everything they do. So here's your choice. Stay ordinary, stay forgettable, stay replaceable. Or rise like your life depends on it, because it does. Your happiness, your confidence, your future. All of it depends on you becoming the kind of man that cannot be replaced. The path is simple. The work is hard, but the reward unmatched. Now, what are you going to do about it? Listen closely, because this is where most men fail. This is where they break. This is the line that separates the weak from the strong, the forgotten from the legendary. Confidence isn't something you ask for, it's something you take, and if you don't take it, if you don't own it, then you will spend your entire life begging for scraps of respect, begging for love, begging for anyone to see you as valuable. But that's not you, not anymore, because real confidence isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's not about flexing, bragging, or pretending. Real confidence is silence. It's the unshakable knowing, deep in your bones, that no matter what happens, you will not break. It's the fire in your eyes when life tries to knock you down. It's the calm in your voice when everyone else is panicking. It's the way you stand when the world tells you to kneel. You want to be the man she fears to lose. Then you must become the man who knows his worth, not because someone told you, not because she validated you, but because you decided, with every fiber of your being, that you are valuable, that you are strong, that you are the prize. Most men don't have this. Most men hope for confidence. They wait for someone to give it to them. They wait for a woman to love them before they love themselves. They wait for success before they believe they deserve it. That is weakness, that is failure. True confidence, it comes first, before the money, before the women, before the respect. You must believe in yourself when no one else does. Because if you don't, why should they? If you don't see your own worth, why would she? If you don't treat yourself like a king, why would the world bow? This is the hard truth. No one will ever believe in you more than you believe in yourself. No woman will ever adore you more than you adore yourself. No opportunity will ever chase you harder than you chase your own greatness. So how do you get this unshakable confidence? You build it brick by brick. Day by day, you look in the mirror and demand more from yourself. You stop making excuses. You stop waiting for permission. You stop letting fear dictate your life. Every time you back down, you get weaker. Every time you doubt yourself, you lose. Every time you let someone else's opinion matter more than your own, you betray the man you could be. But when you stand firm, when you refuse to crumble, when you look failure in the face and laugh, that's when you become dangerous. That's when you become unstoppable. That's when she looks at you and thinks, if I lose him, I lose everything. Because confidence isn't just attractive, it's powerful. It's the difference between the man who asks for loyalty and the man who inspires it. The difference between the man who needs love and the man who earns it. The difference between the man who hopes she stays and the man who knows she'd be a fool to leave. This isn't about ego. This isn't about arrogance. This is about truth. The truth that you are enough. The truth that you deserve more. The truth that the only thing standing between you and the life you want is you. So stop waiting. Stop hesitating. Stop letting the world tell you who you are. You define yourself. You decide your worth. You create your confidence. And then you protect it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Now act like it. Let me hit you with a hard truth right now. Your emotions are your greatest weakness or your ultimate weapon. There is no in between. Every time you lose control, every time you let anger, fear, or desperation dictate your actions, you hand over your power. You become predictable. You become weak. You become just like every other man who let his feelings ruin his life. But not you, not anymore, because the man who masters his emotions, the man who stays calm when chaos hits, the man who smiles when others panic, that man becomes unstoppable. That man commands respect without saying a word. That man walks into any room, any situation, any battle, and owns it, because while others are drowning in their emotions, he is in control. This isn't about suppressing what you feel. This isn't about pretending. This is about dominance. The dominance of your mind over your impulses. The dominance of your discipline over your weakness. The dominance of your future over your temporary feelings. Think about the last time you lost control. The last time jealousy twisted your thoughts. The last time anger made you say something stupid. The last time fear paralyzed you. That was the old you, the weak you. The version of you that reacted instead of responded. The version of you that let emotions steer the wheel and crashed because of it. But the new you, the real you, the strong you, you don't react. You control. You don't explode. You observe. You don't beg, you command, because you understand something most men never will. Emotions are not reality. They are not truth. They are just signals, and weak men let those signals control them. Strong men, they use them. When you feel anger, you don't scream. You strategize. When you feel fear, you don't run. You focus. When you feel pain, you don't collapse. You grow. This is the difference between boys and men. Between losers and winners, between the man she leaves and the man she fears to lose. Because let me tell you something about women. They feel everything. They sense instability. They smell desperation. They know when a man is ruled by his emotions, and the second they see it, respect disappears, attraction fades, power shifts, but the man who stays calm, the man who keeps his composure no matter what, the man who cannot be shaken, who cannot be broken, who cannot be played, that man becomes magnetic. That man becomes the prize. That man becomes the one she never wants to lose, because he is the rock in the storm. The unbreakable force, the only certainty in a world of chaos. So how do you master your emotions? You train them like a muscle every single day. You don't let a bad text ruin your mood. You don't let a disrespectful comment trigger you. You don't let fear stop you from taking action. You face discomfort. You embrace pressure. You welcome challenges. Because that's how you grow. That's how you harden your mind. That's how you become unfuckwithable. Most men are slaves to their emotions. They get sad, they drink. They get angry, they fight. They get insecure, they beg. Don't be most men. Be the man who owns his emotions, not the other way around. Because here's the ultimate truth. The man who controls his emotions controls his life. He controls his relationships. He controls his success. He controls every outcome. Because while others are drowning in feelings, he is making moves. So the next time you feel that heat rising, that panic building, that weakness creeping in, remember who you are. Remember what you're building. Remember the man you've decided to become, and then take control. Because the world doesn't belong to the emotional. It belongs to the disciplined. Which one are you? The clock is ticking right now. With every second that passes, you're either getting stronger or getting weaker. There is no standing still in this life. Every day you wake up is another chance to become better or to fall behind. And here's the brutal truth. If you're not outworking the man you were yesterday, you're already losing. Most men are asleep. They hit the snooze button on their dreams. They settle for good enough. They make excuses about time, about circumstances, about luck. But not you, not anymore, because you understand something fundamental. Greatness isn't given, it's taken. It's clawed for, it's fought for. It's earned through blood, sweat, and relentless effort when no one's watching. This isn't about motivation. Motivation fades. This is about discipline, the kind that gets you up at 5 a.m. when your bed feels like heaven. The kind that pushes you through one more rep when your muscles scream to stop. The kind that makes you study when others are partying. Discipline is what separates the winners from the what-if crowd. Look at your life right now. Be brutally honest. Are you really giving everything you've got, or are you holding back? Are you settling for average when extraordinary is possible? The man you are today is just a shadow of what you could become if you're willing to pay the price. And the price is simple. Never stop improving, never stop growing, never stop pushing. Your competition isn't other men. Your real competition is every version of yourself that you've ever been. That lazy version from last year. Crush him. That doubtful version from last month. Destroy him. That weak version from yesterday. Annihilate him. Every single day is your chance to become 1% better, 1% stronger, 1% smarter, 1% more unstoppable. Think about this. A year from now, you'll arrive at one of two places. Either you'll be the same person making the same excuses, or you'll be transformed. The difference between these two futures, what you do today and tomorrow and every day after that, the small choices compound, the extra effort accumulates, the discipline compounds into dominance. This is about more than just gym gains or money. This is about total transformation, body, mind, spirit. It's about becoming the kind of man who walks into any room and changes the energy just by being there. The kind of man who commands respect without demanding it. The kind of man who doesn't chase opportunities, he creates them. The pain of discipline is temporary. The pain of regret is permanent. 5 years from now, you'll look back at this moment and either thank yourself for pushing through or hate yourself for giving up. The choice is yours, but remember this, time doesn't care about your excuses. The world doesn't care about your struggles. It only rewards results. So what's it going to be? Will you be the man who looks back with pride at what you've built? Or the man who wonders what if? While watching others live the life you wanted, the path is simple but not easy. Wake up earlier, work harder, learn constantly, push further, refuse to settle, demand excellence from yourself. Become obsessed with your growth. Let your progress be your addiction. Let your improvement be your drug. Because here's the secret they don't tell you. The man who outworks everyone else doesn't do it for recognition. He does it because he can't stand the thought of being less than he's capable of. He does it because settling feels like death. He does it because once you taste what you're truly capable of, there's no going back. This is your wake-up call. This is your moment. The old you is dead. The new you is being built one hard day, one tough choice, one small victory at a time. The question isn't whether you can do it. The question is whether you will. The grind doesn't wait. The world doesn't pause. What are you going to do about it? Listen closely, because this is where most men fail without even realizing it. They think love is about flowers, sweet words, and grand gestures. They think loyalty comes from begging, from clinging, from giving everything away, but they're wrong, dead wrong. Love isn't given, it's earned. Loyalty isn't begged for, it's inspired. And the moment you understand this, everything changes. You want to be the man she fears to lose, then you must become the man she can't afford to lose. Not because you manipulate her emotions, not because you trap her, but because you are so valuable that the thought of losing you feels like losing oxygen, like losing light, like losing something essential to her survival. This isn't about being rich. This isn't about being handsome. This is about value, real, undeniable, irreplaceable value. The kind of value that doesn't just attract her, but anchors her. The kind of value that makes her think, if I walk away, I will never find this again. What does unmatched value look like? It's the way you carry yourself, not with arrogance, but with unshakable confidence. The kind of confidence that says, I don't need you, but I choose you. It's the way you think, not like an average man, but like a leader, like a man who solves problems instead of creating them, like a man who sees opportunities where others see obstacles. It's the way you make her feel, not just desired, but alive, not just loved, but inspired, not just safe, but excited for the future. Most men bring nothing to the table but neediness. They bring desperation. They bring ordinary energy, and then they wonder why she walks away, why she gets bored, why she doesn't fear losing them. But you will be different. How do you build unmatched value? Become a man of excellence, not just in your career, but in your character. Not just in your words, but in your actions. Not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Master your mind. Most men are slaves to their emotions. You control them. Most men react, you respond. Most men crumble under pressure, you thrive in it. Lead without apology. Women don't follow weak men, they follow strength. They don't respect indecision, they respect direction. They don't love men who beg. They love men who command. Be the rock, not the wave. Most men are unstable, emotional, unpredictable. You are the calm in the storm. You are the man she can lean on, not the man who leans on her. Never stop growing. The moment you stop improving is the moment you become replaceable. Stay hungry, stay learning, stay evolving. The harsh truth: most men are replaceable because they offer nothing unique. They bring no real value. They are just another option in a sea of mediocrity. But you will be different. You will be the man who stands out, the man who leaves an imprint, the man who cannot be forgotten. Because when you become truly valuable, when you become unmatched, something powerful happens. She doesn't just love you, she fears losing you, and that, brother, is real power. Now, go build it. The world is screaming for real men to stand up. Not followers, not spectators, not willed boys who hesitate at every crossroad. Leaders, men who see chaos and bring order. Men who face uncertainty and make decisions. Men who don't wait for permission. They take responsibility. This is about more than just being in charge. This is about the fundamental truth that indecision is weakness, and weakness is death to your relationships, your success, your future. A man who can't decide is a man who can't be trusted. A man who hesitates is a man who loses. A man who waits for someone else to lead is a man who will never be feared, respected, or followed. The cost of indecision: every second you spend waffling, every moment you delay, every time you say, I don't know, you bleed power. You bleed respect, you bleed opportunity. The world doesn't wait for unsure men. Women don't follow men who can't lead themselves. Life doesn't reward those who stand still, it crushes them. Think about the last time you hesitated. The last time you let fear paralyze you. The last time you waited for someone else to make the call. That was the moment you gave away your power. That was the moment you became ordinary. That was the moment you proved you weren't ready for her, for success, for greatness. But the man who decides, the man who acts, the man who owns his choices without apology, that man commands the room. That man earns loyalty. That man becomes the one she fears to lose, because he's the one who leads her, not the one who needs her. What real leadership looks like: clarity in chaos. Weak men see problems and freeze. Leaders see problems and solve them. When others panic, you stay calm. When others doubt, you move forward. Unshakable conviction: you don't second guess. You don't backtrack, you decide, then you commit. Even if you're wrong with authority. And you adjust without crumbling. Responsibility without excuses. Leaders don't blame, they fix, they don't complain. They execute, they don't hide from consequences. They own them. Direction, not doubt. Women don't want a man who asks, what do you want to do? They want a man who says this is where we're going. Speed over perfection, good decisions made fast beat perfect decisions made too late. Indecision is the enemy, action is the weapon. The brutal truth about weak men: most men are terrified to lead because they're terrified to fail. They'd rather hide behind "I'm not sure" than risk being wrong. They'd rather let someone else decide than take responsibility. And because of that, they live their entire lives as passengers in their own story, waiting, wishing, watching as real men take what they want. But not you. You will be different. You will be the man who steps up when others step back, the man who makes the call when others hesitate, the man who owns his choices, good or bad, without flinching. Because leadership isn't about being right all the time. It's about being willing to lead all the time. How to develop unbreakable decision making: start small, think big, train your decision muscle daily. What to eat, what to wear, what to prioritize. No more "I don't know." No more "whatever you want." Decide now. Embrace discomfort. The fear of being wrong is what keeps you weak. Get comfortable deciding even when you're unsure. Stand firm, adjust fast, make the call. If it works, double down. If it fails, pivot. Without self-doubt, lead everywhere: at work, in your relationships, in your life. If you're not leading, you're following. And followers don't change the world. Become the example. People follow those who move with certainty. Be the man others look to when they're lost. The ultimate test: when she looks at you, does she see a man who hesitates or a man who acts? When life throws chaos at you, do you freeze or do you lead? When the moment demands a decision, do you waver or do you command? This is what separates the boys from the men, the weak from the strong, the replaceable from the irreplaceable. Indecision is the death of respect. Leadership is the birth of power. Now, what kind of man are you going to be? Silence speaks louder than words ever could. Your presence, the way you walk, the way you stand, the fire in your eyes when you enter a room, that is your first weapon. Before you speak, before you act, before you prove anything, your presence has already decided your fate. It has already told the world whether you're a man to be respected or ignored. Most men don't understand this. They think presence is about being the loudest, the flashiest, the most aggressive. They try to force attention instead of commanding it. And then they wonder why no one takes them seriously, why no one remembers them, why they blend into the background like ghosts. But you will be different. The power of silent dominance, real presence, isn't about noise, it's about energy. It's the unshakable confidence that radiates from you without effort. It's the calm, controlled power that makes people lean in when you walk by. It's the quiet certainty that says, "I don't need to prove anything because I already know who I am." Think about the men who have left marks on history. The men who walked into rooms and changed them without saying a word. They weren't always the biggest. They weren't always the loudest, but they had something. An aura, a gravity, an undeniable force that pulled people in. That force wasn't luck, it wasn't magic, it was cultivated presence, and you can build it too. How to own any room you enter. Posture is power, shoulders back, chest out, head high. A slouched man is an invisible man. Your body doesn't ask for respect, it demands it. Eye contact that connects. Weak men look away. Strong men hold gaze. Your eyes should say, "I see you," before your mouth does. Movement with purpose, no fidgeting. No nervous energy. Every step, every gesture, every motion, controlled and intentional. The silence before the storm. Speak less, mean more. Let others fill the silence first. Your words will hit harder when they come. Energy that pulls, not pushes. Charisma isn't about being the center of attention. It's about being the center of gravity. People should want to be near your energy, not be overwhelmed by it. Why most men fail at presence: they try too hard. They compensate. They think presence comes from external things, clothes, money, loud opinions. But real presence comes from internal certainty, from the deep, unshakable knowing that you belong exactly where you are, that you deserve the space you take up, that you don't need permission to exist powerfully. When you truly believe that, when you embody that, something shifts. People feel it before you even speak. They sense that you're different, that you're not like the others, that you're a man who matters. The moment that changes everything. There will come a day, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, when you walk into a room and feel it, the shift, the quiet. The subtle way people adjust themselves when you enter. That's the moment you'll know you've arrived, not because you shouted, not because you forced it, but because you earned it, with every small choice to carry yourself like the man you're becoming. The choice is yours. Will you be the man who enters a room and hopes no one notices him, or the man who enters a room and owns it by simply existing in it? Presence isn't given, it's taken, not with words, with being. Now, how will you show up?